Hey guys, I want to make sure I'm actually live. I think I am. Let's see. I hope you can hear me. It looks like my mic's working. I wanted to hop on. I've had a few questions about what were the top three things that if I were to ask my parents, which I did ask, by the way, what would I ask them in terms of being an aging parent? And I'm an only child. If you are an only child, please let me know in the comments. Just say only. And let me know. And it doesn't devalue anyone if there's one of you or 15 of you, but I'm an only, so that's why I'm asking. Taking care of our aging parents, it can be very rewarding, but very frustrating, a scary time. Sometimes you feel like you're not supported. And so my goal is to help you to have access to as much information as possible. And that's why I created Generational Guardians Community. And if you'd like more information about that, just put GGC in the comments and I'll be happy to reach out to you about that. But I'm going to give you three questions that I definitely did ask my parents. And I was so happy because as we went on our journey together, it was just imperative that we had those conversations because it took not only does it take a load off of you as the person, being that person that's caring for them, it also gives them autonomy. It gives them autonomy. So, one is, do you want to be on life support? I think that's a huge question. Do you want to be on life support? Because it depends on the age of the parent. So, if your parents are in their 40s, you may be thinking, well, I don't really have an aging parent. But if you have a parent over the age of, I would say 36, then you have an aging parent. And it's important to have those conversations. So, if you're in your 20s, have those conversations with your parents. My parents had me they married late in life, had me late in life. So we had those conversations when they were early 60s. Probably should have had them sooner. But, when I graduated high school, my parents were mid 50s. So I did have older parents. Do you have older parents or do you have younger parents? I think it's all relative now. I never thought about my parents being older until, we were in a crisis when my dad fell and broke his hip. So I want again to help you to think about what conversation should I be having with my parents, and the sooner the better. So one is, do you want to be on life support? And that's a big deal because if they're 80, their answer may be no, I do not want to be on life support. But if they are, let's say, 40, they may say, well, it just depends on the circumstance. What does the doctor say? Am I brain dead? If I'm brain dead, of course I do not want to be on life support. So you just have to have those conversations. And just because you have them once doesn't mean that you have to have them, that you never have them again. You can have as many every 5 years, have a recheck, right? And then also another question is, do you want to be resuscitated? And again, I think that depends a little bit on age. If they had a car accident, and do you want to be resuscitated at the scene or at the hospital or in the ambulance? And it's important to have those conversations. They're uncomfortable. Nobody wants to have them. I didn't want to talk to my folks about it because we don't want to think about those things happening because that's negative. But unfortunately, at some point somewhere right now, as I'm making this video on whatever today is, May 29th of 2024, someone is finding themselves thrust into being a caregiver, perhaps making decisions that they never thought they'd have to make, and also the fact that they didn't wanna make those decisions. So if you have those decisions made by your parents, not only is that honoring you, that you don't have to, it's honoring them and their autonomy and showing them that you want to respect their wishes, whatever that may be. So do you wanna be on life support? Do you wanna be resuscitated? And another one is, and I think this is a big one, do you want a peg tube? Do you wanna be fed through a peg? Again, uh, aging varies, but let me tell you a story. I knew a lady in my hometown, married late in life. She didn't have children. Her husband passed away, and she had a brain bleed at home alone, and she lay there, I wanna say in the garage. It doesn't really matter, I don't guess, but for, like, 36 hours. So she's had massive damage to her brain. couldn't talk, walk, eat, anything, and they did give her a peg tube, and she did live for multiple years. And I often wonder about her and think, would she have really have wanted that? Or maybe she had something somewhere written that said she did want that, and that's fine if that's what you want, but have those conversations. Do you want to be in bed for 10 years on a peg tube? You can't talk, walk, or do anything. You can't enjoy any part of your life. Do you want that? And if they do, that's fantastic. But if they don't, then you don't have to worry about that. And I just thank the good Lord that my folks said, "No, I don't want that, Pam." They let me know what they wanted. And then when it came time to make those decisions, they made it for themselves. I didn't have to. So that was a blessing. Even though it's hard to watch, I didn't like it. It was in black and white. That's what they wanted. So are you a caregiver? Let me know in the comments if you are a caregiver. Is it your mom, your dad, or both? I'd love to hear from you. Drop it in there and let me know if you have any questions or if there's things that you're interested in the future that we could bring to you in video form. I'd love to hear from you guys. Just let me know in the comments, and I'm happy to reach out and get back to you if you have questions. The community I'm super excited about. We're actually officially kicking off on the 1st of June, so we're just starting. We do have members in there already. They're first generational members, but it's something I want to build for you as a caregiver because I wish I would have had that when I was going through what I did with my parents, my dad first, and then years later, my mom. And I want to help make sure that you have access to not just a community that supports you, cares about you. It's a safe place. You can vent, ask questions, but it's also a place where you can get information, resources. We're going to be having live Q&As, and it's a place that you can come. And I'm going to bring different professionals in. I have background is I'm a speech language pathologist. My first 23 years of my career were in healthcare with adults. So I have a lot of experience that I want to bring to you guys with swallowing disorders and cognitive issues and tips and strategies and things to be looking for and things that you can do. But also all of my connections, PTs, OTs, nursing, nurse practitioners, hospice, all the people that at some point along your journey you are going to deal with. And I would love to be able to have those people available to you in our community and also have roundtable discussions and just whatever you need. That's what I want to bring. So we want to grow it together. So if you'd like to hear more about that, just drop GGC and I'll get you some information. So the three things, guys: do you want to be resuscitated? Do you want to be on life support? And do you want a peg tube? Definitely make sure that you have that. And there's a thing called an advance directive. So it's a legal document. So when they go to the hospital, there's no question. If you have siblings, hey, mom said she wanted this, and they can't argue because it's in writing. So, you may need to connect with an attorney, but have it somewhere that's official of what they want. And then there's no question when that time, unfortunately, if that time does come. So, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you, and we will see you in the next one.